Anytime you're considering relocating with Texas children, be it in a divorce situation or in a custody situation, I'm going to be the lawyer who tells it to you straight. You need to understand you're up against a really steep mountain. The way I describe it always is Texas is jealous with its children. It wants Texas kids to stay here and to stay put. And judges in particular don't like kids moving off to other states where they're outside the power of this court to protect them and make sure that they're thriving. So if you think you want to relocate someplace else, you need to hire a lawyer who's really well versed and steeped in how you can prove to a court that relocating would be in the best interest of the kids in your Texas divorce or custody case. A question I get a lot is, can one parent prevent another parent from relocating outside of the state of Texas with their kids in a Texas divorce or custody situation? Probably so. And it's an annoying lawyer answer, but it may depend. Here's the deal. Texas courts want two parents to be involved in this child's life. And if you're filing the case, let's say in Austin, Texas, where I practice, then Austin, Texas courts are going to want both parents to stay in Austin with this kid. Like, just because you two are breaking up doesn't mean this kiddo should have to leave their school, their friends, their soccer team, their cheer club, and move off to Las Vegas, where you're from. So the way to stop that person from leaving and going off to Las Vegas would be to file for divorce. And then probably what would happen, at least for sure in Austin, Texas, would be you file for divorce and standing orders go into effect that prohibit parties from changing the schools where the kids are attending. And you can't really move off without changing their schools. So you could probably file for divorce, and that could stop it during the pendency of the matter, at least, to get it started, and then seek that ultimate relief in your case at trial or in mediation. That includes a geographic restriction that puts like a fence, think almost like a geofence around where this child can live to make sure they're staying located here. Now, you may say, I'm already divorced, that ship has already sailed, and I'm living in a custody world, and my co-parent wants to move off. And the orders you already have in place probably restrict them from doing so. There's probably an order in your Texas custody orders that says you have a certain geographic restriction. So pull that out and find the part where it talks about geographic restrictions. If they say, oh, I'm moving to Las Vegas, you can be like, hey, check out page 17, paragraph 7 that says we have a geographic restriction to Austin, Texas, Travis County. And remind them of that. And if they still say, I'm going and taking the kids, then what you would likely do is file some sort of a custody modification, perhaps a temporary restraining order or a TRO to stop them from moving while a court figures out what's best for these children. And again, you would seek that in some sort of geographic restriction at mediation or in the final trial on your custody modification. If you are the parent trying to relocate with your children, then you're going to need to proceed with caution and start as soon as possible ahead of the move. And what I mean is, consider if you're the judge, okay, the judge doesn't know you people. So what do you need to show this judge of why it's best for the kid, not for you? The kid, not for you. Did you catch that? Not for you. Best for the kid that they move. Because what I find, and women are the worst about this, is the woman will come to me and say, I want to move from Austin and Travis County over to Houston and Harris County. And I'm like, okay, well, why? Well, because I got married and he lives in Houston and he has a custody order with his kids and he can't move. You think a court is going to be like, oh yeah, sure, his kids matter in Harris County where I don't have any voters and I don't have any constituents. But let's make sure and honor his and rip these kids out of their schools in Travis County where they see their other parent all of the time and let them move to Houston where I won't have any jurisdiction over them anymore. Pretty much, I'm going to say that's not going to happen. Now, if you want to, you may explain, okay, in this situation, say that you want to go because you love this person, okay? Congratulations. But you could do things like, well, And my mom lives in Houston. And my job is eliminating my position in Austin, and they want me to relocate to Houston. And I'm from Houston, and I have this huge support network. And their cheer team that they're members of with the Twisters in Austin, they have Twisters in Houston. So you see, you explain to the judge, you're like, nothing to see here, Judge. It'll be fine. They're going to succeed. They're going to be awesome over there. And oh, yeah, their dad, who's still here in Austin, I'll do the driving. It won't be any more inconvenience for him. I'll get the kids from Houston back to Austin for the every other weekend visits and all that. Everything will be fine. So that'll be kind of the way you try to do it. But even as I'm telling you, aren't you kind of like, ugh, I don't know about that? Because it's really hard to move kids in Texas divorce and custody situations, related, unrelated. If you think you don't want to live for the next 18 years or the duration of your children's childhood where you sit, don't file for divorce yet until you can get yourself to the place where you want to continue to live, because more than likely the courts are going to force you to stay living where you are for the sake of the kids.